Ever so often in the history of human endeavor, there comes a breakthrough that takes humankind across a frontier in a new era. Today's announcement is such a breakthrough that opens the way for massive advancement in the treatment of cancer and hereditary diseases. And this is the only beginning, quoted by Anthony Charles Linton Blair. Hi, I'm Michelle Fisher, a senior in the Public Health Online Degree Program at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. In this presentation, I will be discussing Healthy People 2020's topic of genomics. Healthy People 2020 is an organization that concentrates on improving the health of Americans over a 10-year period. This organization has existed for 3 decades and accomplishes its objectives while maintaining its goals through a vision and mission statement. According to Healthy People 2020, their vision is a society in which all people live long, healthier lives. All of the objectives are science-based. According to Healthy People 2020, for 3 decades, Healthy People has established benchmarks and monitored progress over time in order to encourage collaborations across communities and sectors, empower individuals to make informed health decisions, and measure the impact of prevention activities. The statement says a lot about the company overall and how they strive to improve the health of the American population. Any organization who is striving for a healthier nation should be commended. Through the implementation of the study of genomics, Healthy People is benefiting society's health beyond just exercise, eating well, and vaccinations. Now that we've discussed what hp2020 is, let's learn about genomics. According to the World Book Encyclopedia, genomics is the study of the genes as they exist in living things. Genomics derive from the molecular biology and human genetics. Healthy People 2020's goal is to use valid genomic tools in clinical settings and practices in public health to improve health in a less harmful manner. In explaining the objectives for genomics, Healthy People 2020 points to 2 objectives. Number 1, individuals with colorectal cancer should have genetic testing to detect Lynch syndrome. Number 2, women with family history of breast and or ovarian cancer should have genetic screenings completed. One reason that genomics is important is because 9 of the 10 leading causes of death in the United States can be associated with genomics. So many Americans suffer from these diseases and aren't aware that genomics could possibly be used to detect or to help cure their diseases. Some of them include heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, and Alzheimer's disease. There are genetic tests that can be harmful by making the wrong changes in medical care based on inappropriate information. These tests are either not useful or invalid. DNA sequencing and genotyping are some advances in the area of genomics that are upon our society. DNA sequencing is the process of determining the nucleotide sequence of DNA. The doors for personal genomics are being opened by innovations such as the DNA sequencing and genotyping. Researchers are using genetics to advance in finding solutions to common diseases using genetic analysis technology. Several discoveries have been led to by genome sequencing. For example, James Watson had his entire genome sequenced by the 454 Life Sciences in Brantford, Connecticut, and the Human Genome Sequencing Center at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas, in late May 2007. Headlines were made when this sequencing took place. Another success story of genome sequencing is that of James Lupsky, a medical geneticist at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston. Lupsky has a rare hereditary disorder called Charcot-Marie-Tooth neuropathy, which reduces the sensation in the limbs. 3 of his 7 siblings had the disorder, however, neither one of his parents had the condition. After collaborating with his colleague Richard Gibbs and other Baylor geneticists in 2010, he had his own genome sequence. After their research, they found that both of his parents carried a recessive mutation of the same gene. Each child fostered that gene from both parents. The downfall to DNA sequencing is the cost. More than 10 years ago, DNA sequencing one individual's complete genome could cost up to $1 billion. The cost per genome came down less than $10,000, which made it more feasible for a single family to study their variations of DNA. Another good characteristic of genomics is taking the biology aspect of it to levels that will also help us as Americans in situations that may involve future outbreaks. Genomics can be used to detect bacteria. As we all know, E. coli has been an issue in society within the last few years, with recalls being made and from grocery stores to markets pulling food off the shelves that contain this bacteria. In another article titled Rapid Isolation of Genomic DNA from E. coli Blue Strand Approaching Bare Magnetic Nanoparticles, was about a significant study conducted involving rapid isolation of the bacterial genomic DNA of E. coli. It should be clear that the idea of being able to study and break down such a well-known issue in America alone will help improve society's health as a whole. Scientists were able to isolate and purify the strand of DNA. Healthy People 2020's initiative to improve the health of Americans is phenomenal. Improving someone's health does not always have to deal with life-changing habits such as healthy diet, exercise, or taking vitamins. The idea of this organization focusing on genomics is taking it one step higher to improve our health. For instance, the woman who wants to be pregnant that might have a recessive gene of a hereditary disorder can have the ability to know if she should conceive, gives her the choice to decide on giving birth, also knowing that her child may someday have that particular disorder. DNA sequencing also gives people the satisfaction of knowing ahead of time or simply knowing what they may be up against in the future. DNA sequencing is becoming more common with the burst of technology, making the process less expensive. More systems are also being used and created to have sequencing done. There has been a lot of success stories with genomics. As mentioned earlier, different researchers have even used their own genome to be tested in the field of genomics. hp2020 has two objectives with regards to genomics. Women who have family history of breast and ovarian cancer should seek genetic counseling, and individuals with colorectal cancer should have genetic testing done to detect Lynch syndrome. People should be careful when seeking genetic testing because tests that are not useful can cause harm. Healthy People 2020 is doing an excellent job of bringing this new aspect of health and fitness to the public's attention. Speak with your doctors about having screenings done, and also check your family history for any diseases discussed in this presentation to find out options for DNA sequencing. By going to healthfinder.gov or healthypeople2020.gov, more information can be found about this subject. Thank you for listening.